Hello everyone, it's Sloth, and I've been feeling lately that we are betraying our main archetype of control, the Esper one. We didn't play Esper since such a long time, and I think that we need to remedy this. So for today we are going with very classic Esper control. There are some twists, so it's not perfectly classic, but generally that's what you get in those colors, right? If you want to control the game. The small twist, I guess, is having Bankbusters as the draw, as opposed to Memory Deluge and Behold the Multiverse and this stuff. We also tried the Depopulate. This is interesting choice because we do have multicolored creature that we can benefit from. So that is an experiment. And I'm not sure how I feel about the results. The Doomscar is definitely another option, maybe better, but it depends on the situation. But we'll go into the deck first. So let's talk about the deck. So how do we want to control the game? We have quite a lot of sweepers. In total we have 3 Depopulate, double Meathook and 2 for Well. So we have spaced them out throughout the game. So we have early game sweepers with Meathook and Depopulate. And then we go into Farewell for this exile flavor and just answering whatever enemy has. So yeah, this is just a very, very versatile card. However, we don't deal great with Planewalkers, so for this reason we have both counter spells, Vanishing Verses that can kill Planewalkers, and also Bloodchief first and March. All of those cards can hit the Planewalkers. On top of this, of course, we have classics. Kaito is of course great draw engine, so we have 2 plans. First is the Bankbuster, second is Kaito, and I guess you can go with the third one with Lier and Memory Deluge. This is more of a standard one. However, Lier is just one-off and it's more of a backup plan for the deck. It's not your main thing that you want to do. It's more of a just, when the game drags out, at some point there's so much value that you probably want one Lier to capitalize on 20 cards in your graveyard. So for this reason we have one of them. However, the Emperor is a big thing in the deck because this is mostly how we pressure the enemy and how we answer Boros. And this is of course very important part of the deck. And we are actually trying to use Interceptor in a value-based deck, which is something I really want to do because I think the card is really strong. It has some weaknesses, but it's definitely not something enemy plays around. Generally this card is not used in typical control. It's of course great in aggro for Esper and things like this, but as a typical control card I don't really see it much. So for this reason this is complete surprise every time you play it for every opponent basically. And this swings the game so much. It's 4-drop that basically swings the tempo by something 8 mana, because enemy loses 4 mana and you suddenly gain 4 mana on the board. So basically the swing is insane, and given you have removal and counter spells and some Planewalkers even, to capitalize on, controlling the game after the Interceptor is already in the game is pretty huge. The fact that this has lifelink completely can change the dynamic of the game. If enemy wants to race you and suddenly you counter his best play and start having lifelink, especially in after the combat phase, then they are in trouble and you can force complete change of their direction because suddenly they cannot race you anymore and they need to start battling for value, and at this point they probably gave a lot of value just to try to race you. So this is very important part of the deck. We only have 2 of them. However, I feel this is an integral part of this version of the Esper. So this is also something that we can follow up with the Depopulate. So if enemy plays something problematic for you, Planewalker, enchantment Wedding Announcements, whatever, even Chariot, that is pretty irritating with all controls unless you have Farewell, you can just bounce it. Then you go with Depopulate, and given you have multicolored creature in the board, you gain stuff. Remember, I have learned it the hard way. Maybe not. I won't say, but yes, I did. And this creates a blue ninja creature token. Even though Kaito is multicolored and it creates a token, the token itself is not multicolored, so you won't draw cards with Depopulate. So if there was any commentary like this, you can safely ignore it. I was just testing you and testing myself. I definitely failed this test because I really thought that you get the cards from the Kaito. It shows that you don't. However, you can use the token to make this appear, so we have still some synergy, and of course Kaito is just very good planewalker. And I think the good part about the Kaito in this deck is the fact that you have so many 1 and 2 mana removals that it's very easy to ensure that you play Kaito on the empty board. You kinda need to think about it, right? So, for example, it's very tempting to play the Bankbuster on turn 2, but sometimes you don't want to do it. If you want to follow up with Kaito, you definitely hold a counter spell or a removal. So then on turn 3, sorry for switching, but I'm just, excited about this whole story. And yeah, when you cast the 3-drop, you want the enemy 2-drop answered already at the end step. And then this comes into clear board. So even if they answer the token, they usually need to tap 1 or 2 mana because it's always Boros. So you know what their removal is. And this really disrupts their turn even if they answer, and usually you can start cycling with Kaito +1 anyway because it's still good, and you probably won't be using your full value for the deck because you are so pressured. And with Bankbuster you can get back any value basically. It's such a strong draw card. Like I'm really fancy of Bankbuster lately. Not only this insanely high card draw, like compared to the Memory Deluge even. This is basically a slightly more cards. Of course you have selection, of course you have like stuff going on for the Deluge, that's why we still run it. But like on the raw card advantage, man, this is just, 8 mana and you get 3 cards. This is 11 mana and you get 4. So it even can compete in a way with Memory Deluge, and it's just more flexible. You don't need 7 mana at one time, and you usually get left with some mana every turn. So it's much easier to activate, and the fact that it turns into a creature really like reverses the tempo, and this is something we generally need with control. If you are always defending, it's getting hard. Even with Wandering Emperor, sometimes you cannot just start attacking enemy or get this one extra creature. That means that enemy needs to play his Cavalier and something else. If he can just play Cavalier and attack you and you are in trouble, that's not great. But if he needs to do it and still remove your creature, that's really hard, and he needs very good top decks to have exactly the cards that he needs, and most of the time he won't. Even Boros might not top deck everything. So, with that being said, of course, Emperor is extremely important part of the deck, one of the reasons we go white, basically. And you need to preserve the Emperor and think how you play this. Generally remember that you can turn this into 2 removals if you go with -1 on one of the turns when enemy is tapped. You need to be really careful about this play, because like enemy can burn the Emperor before you go into your phase. So basically you play this after enemy attacked, you make a Samurai and trade with 2/2 creature. Then you untap, in your main phase you have 2 loyalty and you can exile the other creature. You get hit for more, however you trade some life into card advantage, and that's usually insanely good if you can match everything. But you don't do it generally if enemy has open mana, because then they just play with fire and you wasted your best removal in the game. So be conscious about the Emperor, but you can do some little tricks with this. And I think this is the deck. One thing I should mention, during the testing, like I had some problems with Boros, and honestly I felt that the cards that we draw were really unlucky. And like we either get flooded or really like drawing lands every turn for 5 turns, and obviously it probably won't work against any deck. So I'm not sure if the matchup isn't great or just my card draw was abysmal those games because we didn't play a big sample. However, I had some issues with Boros. So for this reason we added marches, and we added generally like early game. So we cut a bit of, more expensive cards and went into this early game to answer all the Boros stuff. So it might be a bit hard, but you will see when you play the deck. And generally we should have decent matchup. We have 5 sweepers, we have life gain, we have 3 1 mana cards that answer it. We have even 2 mana counter spells and so much removal, and still we have card draw to get back into the game after removing 1 for 1. So I really think we should have a decent matchup, and generally, like, this is a decent deck, so you can go, you know, pretty competitive with this one if you want. However, I kinda, well, after playing Dimir, like, it felt a bit more consistent. Maybe it's depopulate, because maybe Doomscares are a bit better, I'm not sure. It just feels that Esper is a bit clunky sometimes. Maybe the fact that it's 3-color deck means that sometimes you whiff on Vanishing Verse, or, you know, Obscura Interceptor, but maybe it's just my impression. So the deck is of course good, and if you are a Esper fan, this is a very decent version to run, but honestly I do enjoy Dimir quite a bit lately. So check for yourself and tell me what you think. Do you enjoy Esper more or Dimir? And with that being said, if you are not subscribed to the channel, consider it. If you like what we are doing, this is the biggest way you can support the channel. I feel that you guys are more or less happy with what we are doing with the decks. I'm doing my best, and to grow the channel, it's basically the subscriptions and, you know, views, and YouTube really likes when people subscribe, like, and comment, and I can see it in all the views and so on. So if you feel that this channel is worth promoting, this is how you can help. And if you feel that we are doing the worst job in Magic, dislike and tell me that that was horrible video and I wasted your day. You know, one of those, I will never get back those 40 minutes of my time. So yeah, with that being said, jokes aside, I hope you enjoyed the games. They were pretty interesting and we had quite a few tough ones, so I hope you will enjoy the nail biters. And by the way, for the person that gave me codes for those sleeves, thank you very much. You are the best and I really appreciate it. They are pretty cool. So this video is basically sponsored by those codes. So for everyone that doesn't have them, in my last video you have the codes, so you can get them as well, as long as they are available at least. I'm not sure how long it is. So with that being said, let's go into the games and thank you for watching. Alright, are you ready for the battle? I am. We are going first. Hand full of lands and removal. And we are against someone who pretends not aggro. Coeldoras. Man, I feel he's a control player and this will suck, but knowing my experience with the ladder, it is probably some kind of aggro deck and we cannot get fooled. Oh, nice. And jokes aside, let's go for black. Jokes aside, even if we are against control, our deck is very value heavy, so as long as we don't die, we generally tend to do very well. Let's get white, because we might cast Emperor next turn. So if we go for March, we cannot play the Emperor, and that might be a very big difference. Enemy sees it's an Esper, and it's an Esper control, so this will affect how he plays. Maybe. Maybe. So this is a fight rigging deck with the Kraken and stuff. So let's draw cards. We have to kill this. We actually have to kill everything. Huh. You know what we can do? You know what we can do? I'm not sure. Do we kill it? Killing it seems pretty good, right? Like, it will come back at some point. Enemy is tapped out, and as long as he doesn't have something like 6 mana with treasures, so he can cast this and fight rigging in one turn, we are pretty happy about the outcome. Alright, so Emperor is off the line. How much lands do we have? Maybe we should cycle this, but with double card draw, I think we can risk it, because this activates the Emperor. Meathook is important. Let's show the enemy that we are tanking and we are not playing anything, which is the universal sign of a counter spell. If you see a spell that draws cards. Vanishing Verse is a decent draw. Alright. Let's go for blue this time, because I want Fading Hope up. And what is interesting, I hope he doesn't play anything at the end step. I don't know what instants they have in the deck. It seems that they have some. Maybe Memory Deluge? Not really something I would expect. I'm not sure what he wanted to do. Anyway, so this will start attacking, and that's pretty huge deal. By the way, when we crew it, we can Fading Hope it and get all the value back. And I definitely did not think about it just right now. Alright, how ambitious I want to go. I think we go like this. And I don't think I go with the Bankbuster right now, because I frankly do not want to attack the enemy. I actually want to keep Fading Hope, for now at least, and just pressure him into playing stuff. And Emperor definitely has a very good potential to force enemy to play stuff, you know? Like, we don't have counter spells, honestly. Yeah, but I don't want to. It feels wrong if we tap out completely for not really any reason. What they can have? They might have Meathook. Like, I don't know this deck list. I was thinking about making a video about it. If I did, I would probably know exactly how it works, but I don't know. So on principle, you want to double Samurai, and this maximizes the value from the Emperor, like, in an aggressive way. And you still get the Emperor, so he still needs to use one of the cards to remove it. So generally that's quite a lot. We could crew the Bankbuster for extra damage, but I don't really want to do it. I want to get a pilot next turn, and we can swing for 8. And this is enough to force enemy into playing something. I think he might... Oh, he will be so sad. Just to make sure. Oh, I almost feel bad. Do we Fading Hope this? Like, if he replays it, it's perfect trap, right? Yeah, I think it's good. He's tapped out, so he cannot really do anything about it. So my idea is that he doesn't know if we have removal. And as long as he doesn't know if we have it, he might go for bad play of replaying Toxil, and that will kill him. So it's just setting up a trap, you know? If he doesn't go for the trap, that's fine. If he does, he is not happy. And I will go like this, because it's harder to kill, and it's quite a lot of damage. That's 9 damage, and next turn he dies. Seems pretty good, right? And honestly, at this point, this is a Meathook for 0, because this is already at least 3 damage. I do not think we play the Bankbuster. We want to cycle the tower and play Vanishing Verse. Like, we have enough pressure, we just need to answer stuff. Oh, please play Toxil, please do it. Will he get baited? Nope. Enemy is too smart of a cookie. But for this reason we have the Bankbuster with counter. We cannot really do anything. Most likely, enemy has 3 mana, so fight rigging at the worst, or the shakedown bro. So it means that we can cycle and see if we hit something cool. Oh wow, thank you. Thank you, game. I do believe it's worth it. Not sure, but believe. And belief is the most important part of the strategy. It had no sense, but don't bother. Okay, smart, smart. I like it. So we both know the value of Meathook Massacre. However, we are not as reliant on this, like killing enemy Meathook, as he might think. So I'm fine with this as well. Like, we are just going for the value game anyway. Now we make the Samurai. We could crew the Bankbuster. We would have to play the Interceptor to do it, and I don't think that's a great idea. So no. Let's just chill up. Like, we have all the power in the world, and I really like the Interceptor. Sure. Like, he thinks that he wants to survive on the life, and he's trying to heal The problem is that he doesn't understand that he's pressured to not lose the game outright. And we will try to make him remember about it. Yeah, so now no Kraken, no Ward, no stuff, and we will try to connive. It should be Meathook Massacre, because then we get 2 toughness, and it means that the Innkeeper cannot really block, which is really sweet for us. It prevents the life gain, it does all the good stuff. And let's start drawing cards. Treasure is nice, but we get extra mana used, so it's like 100% mana efficiency. And we want to be as efficient as possible, especially with double Cyclone. Sure, like, if that's the case, I'm fine with it. We also can activate the Bankbuster right now. He went to 7, that's sweet. The graveyard is pretty decent, honestly, but we just got the Negate, so I don't think we need to do anything really. So, right now, we put the counter. We activate because we have 3 attack. And now our 5 toughness attacker. Do we block? Of course we do. Of course we do. Yes, we have Lier. So if he goes for heavy creature, it's fine. Can we kill him? Man, I'm such a great player. I didn't realize I can just kill him. Like, you know, play Lier and crew it, like stuff, and smorg the enemy. Seems like a good strategy. Man, control players. Like Sloth, always overthinking. Just crew the damn thing. Pretty enjoyable game, and I think like we were really in control of this one. Oh man, I'm so excited. We don't have white mana. That's a big issue with this hand. So basically we have 2 cards disabled, and we need double white for the Emperor. However, the rest of the hand is pretty amazing, so I will keep it. Like, I hope we can survive for long. Like, enemy is just full I kill you mode. With you know, the accent for anyone liking the sketches. Alright, this, if you don't know what I mean, like the dead terrorist thing, it sounds probably awkward. Alright, so this doesn't do anything, so we'll have to see it. We generally want more black because of the Meathook Massacres, and we do not kill this goblin because this does nothing, and his next goblins do a lot, and we need to use those counter spells somehow. Like, our hesitation probably was a turn that we had something. Oh, that's so bad. So bad. Yeah, let's do it. Like, it increases the damage on the board by 100%, but enemy, if he did it on purpose, like, props to him, very good play. This is something that's barely counterable, and you don't really want to counter it. But you have to, because you just went with it. Blue. This is so awkward. Oh man, what do we do really? Enemy has 3-drop, and 3-drop goblins are like the main ones. We cannot kill them with Bloodchief, with Whiff on the land as well. I don't think it's worth to Bloodchief this crap. This perfect goblin that is amazing, and we do support him fully. He whiffed on the land. Alright, you baited me. Let's see if the bait worked, and this is top deck land, and he completely ignores our whole game plan. Okay, thank you. Not a white land. Man, we have like 50% of the hand disabled completely by lack of white mana. However, as long as we have the stuff, we are okay. Like, this cannot kill us, so we can ignore it. Now it's too late. Now it's just too late, and thanks to 2 mana counterspell we can draw. Let's do it after he declares the attacks. Who knows, like 1 in 10,000 aggro players might think about this attack. And finally, like, sooner or later you are forced to draw it. Someday. This has lifelink, so we really don't care about the stuff. And casting Interceptor will be so nice. And I mean so nice. Enjoy your 1 damage. As you can see, the Javelin here, whatever, can be like completely ignored. It just doesn't do anything on its own. How do we do it? I think we go with the lifelink. It really reverses the whole idea. I really want this counter. You know what? Sure. So we definitely completely wrecked his turn right now. And the fact we have lifelink means that he is basically out of this game right now. We could even Emperor just to raise him harder, but right now we don't have to. Like, we have all the answers, we have everything, and we have even Cardo. Enemy is just too slow. So that's the problem with the goblins. Like, if you don't have like a godly draw, they don't do anything really. I don't even care so much to tap out, because I want to get his real issues. I kinda like this one. Bro, I like this one. Now I can counter something again. Oh, you love to see it. And we are at 15 again, so we really don't care. Do I get rid of this? No, it just doesn't matter at all. Enemy will feel so much joy. He cannot really play anything this game. If he plays 3 mana goblin, that's perfect. I would really like to draw something that is not a land. So how do we do it? How do we do it? Like 4 is so much more, but I think we get rid of the land still. Like, it's fine. Like, if he keeps this out, we just kill it. Or we can attack with the Bankbuster, because we are not forced for, I think. Sure. Enemy did not attack. He is tapped out, so we might as well do it, right? Now he cannot really attack. Do you want to attack? Huh? That's what I thought. And we have a 4/4. The draw that we got are pretty bad. They're horribly bad. So we will cycle the land at least. Do we kill the enemy? Like, to be perfectly honest, we probably could. So I guess that we are the aggressor because we have 4/4. And that's enough to kill the enemy in 4 turns. And I honestly think he cannot kill us. We will see. If he activates the den, Vanishing Verse. If he plays this one, like, this does something. And damage to any target. It needs to tap. It won't tap because it will be dead. So, like, what? What is the strategy, bro? 2 blockers. How do we do it? Do we make a token with this? And just spam the Bankbuster? It's probably not the best idea. I think we just Void Rend, because it's less mana efficient, and Vanishing Verse is perfect against them. And now we can do it. Enemy might burn our Emperor, but we are fine with this. Yeah, like, we just trade with this token, because it deals 1 damage, and then we have Emperor that makes tokens, and enemy is under so much pressure he cannot really dig out of this. Alright, not the perfect hand, but definitely the hand that let us live for quite a long time, so we will take it. Fading Hope. We can maybe start with this one, but we need double white for the Emperors. Emperors are so important. So for this reason, I will slow my Fading Hope just a little bit. I think 1-drops are not as scary, and of course we are against aggro as every game. So how do we do it? Let's go for white. We definitely want to hit stuff. Initiate is not the biggest problem, but we need to kill everything after it. Adeline is probably for Fading Hope. Aspirant. Alright. Nope. And we get the Scry. Well, I guess. We have quite a lot of removal. If they replay it, we Bloodchief first, then we start Emperors, right? I will go super greedy and try to hit for some card draw or some like sweeper. Vanishing Verse is a bit better overall. Alright, so this will... yeah. For now, I guess that... maybe if we hit Deluge, we get a bit punished. But other than this, we are okay. If we didn't bounce it, I think he would put the counter in Initiate to spread the threats. Of course it's Boros, of course. Alright, we kill it, right? Because then next turn we hopefully can Emperor something. And in the end, I guess the Initiate will die to Bloodchief first. Alright. Okay, Interceptor is pretty good here. We go for back so the Marsh can do stuff. And you know, this is actually really good. Like, it's lifelink, and with Emperor we can start buffing it if we care. Well, this will definitely work out. So no reason in doing like the counter spell thing. We can do it right now though. And it will be hard for the enemy to raise us. Oh man, do we get rid of the value? Like Emperor? Emperor is just so good in this matchup. Yeah, I think we got rid of the land, it's fine. So he will pump one of the Initiate, then the other one will get the training trigger. And that's super irritating, but we need to deal with it anyway. Untapped land would be great. Thank you game. You actually listened for once. This one is tapped, so a bit easier to remove. Like, I think the Emperors are just a bit of a key to the matchup. So let's just clear the board and go to 21. I think that's usually good against Boros. But we still have not many cards. Alright. It's okay. It's fine. It really is fine. March is pretty sweet. Let's make the token. Alright, let's think how he spreads the tokens. They will put one at everyone. So it means that we can plus the Emperor and then minus on the other creature. And that's perfect. It might be a bit obvious. But if he targets with both aspirants one of them, then we march for full power. Nice. They might have a burn spell, but that's fine. That is fine. Okay, that means no instants. That's perfect. So we get a free trade. Pretty sweet, I would say. And all we lose is 3 life that we don't care about because enemy couldn't pressure. Right now we care only about the value, and I think that we are in the winning spot. Even 3 damage doesn't kill the Emperor. Yeah, that's actually a better play. But we still exile the aspirant. So what do you do, bro? What do you do? We could also Meathook, I guess. But if this is tapped, it's just such a good value play. And everyone knows that Sloth cannot resist the full value plays. Cavalier. Because why would you ever whiff? Let's check what he attacks. If face, I might allow it. I'll allow it. But it should be the Emperor. Like, there's no reason to not attack the Emperor, I think. I guess it prevents 3 damage, and if we exile... yeah, but if he attacks the Emperor, then he has the creature left. And if he attacks face, he loses the creature, and he only gains 1 damage. So the decision is pretty obvious. And for this reason, we obviously protect it. Enemy cannot have Valorous stance. We are at 24, by the way. This is a cycling. And now we start making the small samurais. And let's not show what we have. Nighttime doesn't really matter, I think. I guess it matters. Yeah, it's actually better for us. Alright. And I should definitely cycle it response. We did not get punished, and that's sweet. Do you want to trade?
We've got the edge in this fight.
Enemy want to... Like, it's not in his... Like... Ah? What's up? Yeah, that's what I thought. We could even pump it further. But I do not think we have to. Like, we will target when he attacks and that's it. Raiju. Okay, okay. This is his last card. I think this is the best Meathook that we will ever get. And he double attacks. Like, this will be to player, right? Each opponent. Okay, that's fine. I think that he might double attack the Emperor. But we don't care because we have another one. Meathook for 4. Yeah. Oh, I guess we do not have Meathook for 4. Does it change our play at all? Like, we could trade with the Brute, I guess. Alright, I think we have options. Not sure which one is the best one. If we are guaranteed to draw a land, I would just Meathook, but we are not. Alright, alright, alright. You convinced me, my friend. I mean, we could just +1 this. Yeah, this is actually a best play, I think. It also makes his attack completely fizzle. Now we basically got removal for free, and this doesn't do anything. And now we exile it. And we have clear board, enemy has nothing. And we have the Emperor. Yeah, I feel that this was the best play. And we still have the removal up in case he does anything, and he knows it. Alright, so that was pretty intense in the end, but I think we made the right calls. But I wasn't sure about some of them. Like, in the end I wanted to play it differently, but this Emperor play seems like superior to the rest. First, we have Bankbuster, so I'm quite optimistic, and depopulate together with Wandering Emperor is just pretty sweet here. Yeah, so I kinda like what we have here. Let's go with Raffine Tower at start. And we have our cool Beholder to accompany us while we are getting Smorg. Finally, a deck that is not Boros. Perfect. Like, it's insane that it's so hard to get it. We have white here, and the Bankbuster is basically the most important card in the matchup right now. So we are really happy it cannot get countered because this is tapped. Alright, really sweet. We want to hit the 4-lands and we want to draw with Bankbuster this turn. Like, as long as we have Interceptor, we are pretty fine with everything. This is Prismari, I think, and he will kill the Bankbuster. No. Okay, great, great. I'm really happy about this one. We need to draw into some counter spells. Obscura Interceptor is good, but we can get something better, definitely. And we wait with the Interceptor. If we cast this and the end step, and he just reacts, Windfall is unfortunate, but we can just counter the follow-up. If this will be some kind of removal for a Emperor, we still get the token, so overall we are happy with the result. We have land for the next turn, so let's Smorg the Emperor and see what's the reaction. I do not see a lot of reaction. If he kills it, that's fine. Huh? He has 2 damage probably. We will make a Samurai, like, there's no secret here. We will eat the removal and we won't have the... Oh, so now it's Prismari. Destroy artifact and deal 2 damage. He should do it now, so we cannot draw a card. That's painful. Prismari is... Oh! So he wants to double it and pay the treasure. It's actually really good. I cannot blame him. Alright, but he didn't kill the Bankbuster. That's interesting play. Alright. So this one is black, so we have full mana. Like, Interceptor is really good against treasure decks because they can go over the top but only once. And when you bounce it, it's effectively partially a counter spell, you know? Let's put some more pressure. Like, it might end very similarly, and I'm pretty sure he has the answer, but I want him to use those answers. And if he doesn't, we are really happy about the situation. And we make a lot of threats, because he can deal 1 or 2 damage like all the same, but destroying another creature is a different beast. And we do not want to crew, because we don't want to lose the Bankbuster, we want to draw cards with him, and use Interceptor on whatever play enemy is like hoping for. Unexpected Windfall. Honestly, that's a really good target for the Interceptor. Right? It is a really good one. Yeah, they need to discard card again. So, let's do it. And we can cycle Depopulate. We definitely do not need 2 of them. So he can replay it, but basically he didn't get any cards out of this. And he lost a lot of tempo, so he needs to pay 8 mana. And it's... oh, nice! Okay, that's interesting. So what he is exiling 3. Oh, so Prismari, okay. So he deals 3 to everything. And by everything I mean creatures. Sure. Good choice. They usually don't play this kind of sweepers, I guess, so interesting. Let's just go into the end step, just in case, and start drawing. Alright. Farewell is interesting. But to get rid of the artifacts, we would need to kill our own, and that's probably not great. So, for this reason, we do it main phase, and we put the counter, because this way we can start buffing a creature. Even if it dies, it's still, you know, buffed a bit. And we are overdrawing lands very hard. Alright. Not much targets, to be honest, for our removal. Like, we have so much removal. Alright. Enemy might be a bit out of options until he plays the Windfall. So he has 4 and he can Galvanic Iteration it. Alright. Something we definitely need to keep in mind. So I guess it should be the Bankbuster. It is a lot of damage. We could go for the counters, I guess. But I much rather just make a lot of stuff and force him to play around it. And you know what? In this situation I will actually play. I should do it first and then make all the tokens, so that's my mistake, but we did not get punished. And that's pretty sweet. Farewell is so tempting. Just to get rid of the artifacts and the iterations. But he would just cast everything in response, so we don't really get a lot of value. I would love to intercept this one. Yeah. You will get a lot of stuff, so the next turn will be really painful. So let's see what he will do. However, he's on 14 and he needs to answer like 3 creatures, so that's definitely something that will slow him down a bit. Is this the mill deck? I don't see white for Hinata. Not exactly sure what we are playing against, to be honest. Alright. Alright. Huh. Let's crawl. Because it's the highest damage that we can deal. Drawing another and definitely not what we want. Okay, so he wants to kill us next turn, right? If he doesn't have counter spells, that might be really good play. We lose the Bankbuster, which sucks, but it's still worth it. So he needs to do stuff right now, and he ends with 6 mana next turn, and he wanted to win the game. That will be so close. If we win this, like, enemy will have a lot of decisions to make before it happens. However, I think that farewell is the best we can do. We force his hand basically, and yeah, he lost quite a lot of stuff. So for this reason we played this on white, Emperor is enabled, and we maximize the value for the next attack. It's already 6 damage and Meathook Massacre, so the depopulate will kill him unless he does something. We have 41 cards, like he has Magma Opus, so this seems to be some kind of copying Arcane Bomb. I don't know what we are playing against, to be honest. It seems like weird is a deck. It will probably show up very quickly what exactly his deck does. And I mean, next turn he needs to do it. Or just clear everything. Emperor is just 2 damage with +1, so it's total 3 damage. But Meathook Massacre might really contribute to the power. They still have 4 treasures, but imagine how much they would have if we didn't do the play. Yeah, we are at our turn, right? Still. I just got lost, but yeah, he just started his. So, let's enjoy the fireworks. There will be fireworks either way. Either the good fireworks, with us happy, or the bad fireworks, with enemy happy. Unfortunately, with so much mana and so many cards, generally, enemy can do so much. Yeah, let's roll. What is the idea? The Draconic Intervention exiles, right? If that's the sweeper he has chosen. Yeah, exile. I love it! I love it! I actually made the deck with Cracker with power. Oh, that's interesting. I really do enjoy this one. He thinks we are dead, but we are not. How do we do it in the best way possible? I think this is the best one, but problem is that we don't kill the enemy, right? Yes, we are the smart player. And we are taking 20 damage. That's no joke. Let's make sure that we actually miss damage by 1. Oh my god. Will he just kill us right now? We can depopulate, and enemy goes to 1. Oh man. He actually goes to 1 if we do it. I cannot imagine. Like, I'm darn sure we missed 1 damage at some point of the game. If he has another cracker, he just kills us, and I think that's what happens. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Good game, my friend. Oh, 1 damage. That was so close. Alright. He deserved. For playing Cracker with power, he gets a pass. That's a really cool card.